One of the biggest questions I've been getting recently after the reveal of all of the reworks and changes coming to weapons and armor in the Edge of Fate is, what am I supposed to do with my vault right now? What am I supposed to delete? What should I keep? I got you covered. Generally speaking, I would recommend to hang on to every single one of your weapons right now. Even though there is not a way to upgrade these weapons into the gear tiering system or upgrade their tiers after the tier system is introduced, I would still hang on to them, because just because they're not a part of gear tiers doesn't mean they automatically become unusable or automatically worse than weapons that will be a part of the gear tiering system and that can be obtained at higher tiers. So honestly, if I were you, all of your weapons that you like using and that you use today, I think they will still be very viable, and I would recommend hanging on to them. Armor, however, is a completely different story. Let's start with exotic armor. Exotic armor is not being adopted into the gear tiering system. So for example, even though there's going to be tiers 1 through 5 with legendary armor, tiering will not be applicable to exotic armor. So hang on to absolutely all of your exotic armor, because it's not going to become like soft sense, sunset, or obsolete when we move in, because new exotic armor will not drop under the gear tier system, right? Legendary armor, on the other hand, is a completely different story, because moving into the Edge of Fate, legendary armor is indeed being adopted by the gear tiering system. This doesn't automatically make all of your legendary armor obsolete at the current moment, but a lot of your legendary armor is going to become phased out as you play the Edge of Fate for a week or two, and you begin to get higher tiers of legendary armor. What I would currently recommend is hanging on to all of your artifice armor and all of your non-artifice legendary armor that is currently a part of any builds. Any legendary armor that you currently have that is power level 1900, which means clearly you haven't really been using it all that much recently, it's not really a part of any current builds that you're running, I think it's safe to get rid of those, because those are going to get outclassed in a week anyway. Then as you start to play the Edge of Fate and you start to accrue higher tiers of armor, you'll then be able to replace the current legendary armor that you're using in your builds in your current artifice armor. Legendary class items are actually a little bit different, because in the Edge of Fate, class items are actually going to be dropping with stats now, and our current legendary class items are not going to be given stats, meaning that literally you can get rid of all of your legendary class items right now, except for the one max power level one that you use. Exotic class items, however, are a little bit different, because exotic class items are actually being given stats when we move into the Edge of Fate, which is great because it means that you don't have to regrind them all, meaning that I would recommend scrapping all of your legendary class items, aside from one that you use with your current builds, and keeping all of your exotic class items. If you have additional questions about what to keep or what to trash, you can check out my vault cleaning video that I did with Dado on my main channel, or you can come to my live stream, twitch.tv/Mactics, and ask me here. Thank you so much for watching. Hope it helped, and I'll catch you in the next one.